Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I had to restart it because it was being stupid. Probably I'll just send this out again really quick. Yeah. Yeah, I think like my delay settings got messed up and then it was like skipping frames, but I just reset it and I think it'll work better. The only issue is that I understand why people prefer to sweet. I just got approved on a budget for a project. But yeah, people Twitch stream to Twitch because it's so much easier to like reset stuff. YouTube, I'm not a pro streamer at all. And YouTube can be dumb because YouTube creates like a new link every single time for each stream because it, you know, archives it automatically, so it can't be the same thing. But it makes it a little bit of a pain. So we're gonna do 3, 3, and 3. Three. We're gonna swap over. And let's switch the color on this just so we kind of see what we're doing. We could do all the Pokemon too, because I have them on separate layers. So I get this in here. And then put the Pokemon in there also, because we won't really see them here or here. Can we figure out what to do with those last few beads? Because I do feel like there should be a little bit more of an impact than just opening this or something. But we have... One. Yeah, it's like 2, so you can't really go side to side. Mostly do. No. Okay, we'll figure it out. One, two. So it is 9 and 9. So yeah, we could do the same. What I think we're going to do is actually have them here. Position. Zach is gonna go back. Or worry about these 4 first. Up slightly. There. Those 4 in kind of that line. Let's add a camera in there because the camera's gonna distort it somewhat. Do this camera and then let's do the other side. Oh, really? Cameras were like one of the first things I learned in After Effects, honestly. Because 90% of what like course battle animations are and like A and B stuff is just setting up a scene like this and then using a camera to move around it. So yeah, I used to just use it as like kind of like a null, like, and it's funny that you say that because I also do have friends, even in college, like I studied motion graphics, who never used cameras. They would just animate all the assets by hand or whatnot. And I was like, why do you do this? Because like the perk of, you know, a camera is you get like parallax and whatnot when the camera's moving and looking at something. And you don't need to animate everything by hand. Hello! Welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you saw a stream on YouTube earlier, it didn't happen. Well, YouTube freaked out and OBS freaked out. But we're back. Yeah. And if you look at like, you know, chorus battles and whatnot, it's like, especially old ones. Like I talked about this with someone the other day. I was talking about the style of stuff over the years. And it's gotten way more motiony lately, but the basics are still there. And actually, hold on. If you want to see like a I did like some really old tutorials, quote, back in the day. Let's see. They're still on YouTube, and I actually have them listed. They're just listed as bad tutorials. Yeah. And you can look at this amazing playlist. Actually this doesn't even have the oldest ones in there. These are like random things that I've done for people and then I uploaded them to help help them, and then I was like, fuck it, I'll just keep it online. Let me see if I can pull up the really old one. I think the title of it is I paid $2 for this app, so I'm gonna use it. Unless I deleted it. No, here it is. We have this one.
Okay, I'm gonna try doing this again because I recorded it once and I realized how stupid I sound, and yeah. So heads up, I'm to fit the screen. The best way to look at this though, open up the presets, the transform options. This is like a Gaussian blur on the thing.
Yeah, so it's just like back on my old on my college laptop doing the, what was it, 2015? But yeah, I was talking about
motion blur saves everything.
Yeah, parallax.
There's a word, parallax or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and then let's see, the very first thing I did in, I think I'm gonna mute this, but you can see it. We have my really old After Effects learning from 2012. This was the first thing I ever used After Effects for, and it was literally just to move the camera around a scene. And I used it with a mix of, this is when I used to use Final Cut for AMVs. Back in 2010. 2011. Yeah, it's been, oh yeah, I also, one of the first things, because when I started learning After Effects, I think it was like 2010, it was probably 2010, 2009, 2010, when I downloaded it for the first time. Only I didn't know how to do things totally in After Effects. And After Effects back then was even more wonky than it is now. There's a lot of issues like getting audio set up in After Effects originally. Like it was hidden, so like you wouldn't hear anything in After Effects unless you like went into certain settings and clicked different preview settings, and I didn't know how to fix it. So I used to switch back and forth between, I mean, it is still super wonky. But they have fixed some things in After Effects, I must say. Like, it's not a lot. It's still pretty much 90% of it is exactly the same as it was in 2010. But like this didn't exist, this little up here to turn on and off the audio for playback, and it used to default off. So it would automatically not play back audio when you previewed something. So you would have to go into comp and go to your preview settings and turn on audio playback. But as like a 15 year old, I was like, I was too dumb to figure it out. And so what I would do is I would mark down the keyframes. I would like, because I would use it as a mixture with Final Cut at the time. I'd write down the keyframe and the duration of what I wanted to make something. And then I would time it to music in Final Cut. And switch back and forth that way. Hey, what's up? I'm talking about old After Effects. Yeah, so one of the first things that I learned how to do was make like bubbles. I called them bubbles. All it is CC Starburst. Yeah, I learned After Effects back in like 2009, and it was like I said, 90% the same, but there's definitely things that they actually have improved since 2009. But yeah, Starburst, DC Starburst. This, I knew how to do this, and so I made this and I rendered it out. And I would give it to people in the AMV community, and they're like, "Oh hell yeah, Char is so good at After Effects." Yeah, no, it's super cool. I actually use it a lot now because yeah, it's really good with echo. It's honestly a really good effect to know. I use it a lot in like the VHS style videos that I was doing for someone recently. But yeah, that was like all I knew how to do. And I rendered it out. So there's an era, especially like 2010 to 2012, where if you watched any like Hitalia, because that's like the main fandom that I was in at the time, AMVs, and you see dots like that in it, that's from my of my, yeah, dude, masking takes forever. That's why I don't even, what was the last, I don't do AMVs that much anymore, obviously. I am in like 2 AMV studios, which I'll do things every once in a while. I'm obviously not playing music because of copyright, but this was the last part where I actually masked. That wasn't me. This. Yeah, that's not. Oh yeah, the persona part. That's what I was telling you the other day. It's like it's maps and like this is a lot. The way I mask in I remember learning how to mask in After Effects too, because I originally learned in Vegas, because I did all my old AMVs were done in Sony Vegas, and in Vegas it was very much like, okay, you set a keyframe, you go to the next thing, and then you just do it again, right, around each thing. I kind of do it the same way in After Effects now. It took me a while, because After Effects is made for, like, the masking tools are made for rotoscoping, so you're not really supposed to be like pinpoint accurate around certain things like that. So the way I do it now is I literally have a comp of the clip, and then I will, you know, page up and down, and like whenever it changes, I'll cut the layer, and I'll just do that for every time. So it's usually like every 2 frames the video changes, and then I'll mask each individual layer and then use that comp as the mask. Because yeah, with masks in After Effects, you can't like change the amount of points between each keyframe, and you're moving the points. So, and I don't like that. Also, I run into things, especially using like footage and anime, with frame rates in After Effects. If you're using a different frame rate and you have a mask on it, you'll have the mask slide, so it won't line up. And with the way I do it, I can just pretty much freeze frame every single frame. So it's not actually playing back. It's literally like a bunch of layers of like still frames, and then each frame is masked out. Okay, we're going back to this. Edit it. Should I just screenshot and Premiere mask in Photoshop? Yeah. Yeah, I remember too when I was learning After Effects, and there's like the roto brush in After Effects, which seems like a great thing. And it is very helpful with actual rotoscoping, because most of the time when you're doing actual rotoscoping, it doesn't need to be perfect. It can be a little bit messy, and then you can clean up the edges with other effects in After Effects. But with anime, it's very sharp, so you see the edges very clearly. And the roto brush doesn't know how to deal with that. These are all too close. But we have 5, so... up. Yeah, one thing I learned is to just do garbage masks at first. Masking is usually the very, very last thing that I do. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I still don't think this is arcing in quite how I want. But this section's okay. At least you live in a time where people know how to save masks. I have remastered the same exact clip so many times because back when I was using Vegas, people didn't understand how green screens worked. This is like 2008. Like they kind of did, but not really. Or like how to save out a mask to reuse. Or like I remember when I figured out you could save out alphas. Like I remember learning that there are some video formats that save transparency. It blew my fucking mind. And so there was a lot of times where I masked the same exact clip because I did a lot of Pokemon AMVs back in the day. And I masked the same exact footage so many times. Oh, if you want a funny story though, when I got started, so I started, you know, with Window Movie Maker, of course. And then I got Vegas, Sony Vegas. And when I was using Sony Vegas, I made one video just to test things out. And I was like, all right, this is awesome. And then I was working on a second video and it wasn't good. It was very edgy and very 2008. But I was working on it and I didn't know that you could add an effect to a whole layer in Vegas at the time. So like you can, because Vegas is much more, it's not like After Effects where everything's on the same layer, on different layers. You can have things on the same layer in Vegas. It's like a Premiere or a different editing program. And I accidentally dragged some kind of optical flare. Like it wasn't optical flare, but it was some kind of red flare dot onto one of the layers. And it was on for the whole video. Like after I accidentally dragged it onto, and I didn't know where it was and I didn't know how to fix it. So I just thought it was broken and I never finished the video. And it wasn't till like a year later I realized that, oh, there's like effects that I could put on the whole layer, not just the clip itself. And I was thought about it. I was like, that's what I did, isn't it? Yeah, it's stupid. I also used to read FX like FX because it was like I never really said it out loud. So I always read it as like these are video FX. Yeah, and then it wasn't I would always say it like that to people when they were like learning something. I was like, click on the thing that says video FX. And then one time my friend was like, the effects, and I was like, oh my god, it means effects. Yeah, I was animating with the camera once. I didn't know why my text rotation. I do that a lot. One thing I accidentally do a lot, and I've had other people do this too, is accidentally switch to, what is it? Yeah, F10. So if you press F10 instead of F9 when you're trying to easy ease something, it'll switch to the front camera. And I remember people being like, why isn't stuff showing up? And I'm like, yeah, you have to switch back to active camera. I need to be pushed further back if I want this to work. Push down. I've done so many stupid things in After Effects before, and then like I try to find a workaround and I'm like, it's broken, it's not working, and then there'll be like one button that I have switched that's wrong. Make something with my muse. You just gotta have time to do other stuff. I say as I don't have time to do anything. I should make this smaller, this further back. I've actually never done anything Love Live. All of my friends have been obsessed with Love Live at some point. Why does my friend keep opening and closing Elder Scrolls on Steam? You can't see it because my video, my profile pic, whatever. I'm covering it. But he's been opening and closing it for the past 10 minutes. What? I don't know. I have friends that are very, very into it. And I've never done the idol thing, honestly. I'm like, it's not like I'm against it. I just never did it. It's alright. I put money and simp into other stuff. I want to switch this, so I kind of want Angela back here. I'm gonna color these. So these are gonna be blue. Dude, I didn't watch Naruto. I've never seen Naruto. The only of like the big three that I've seen is Bleach. And I watched it very late because my friend and roommate in college is obsessed with Bleach. Actually, this. No, I feel like this should. So we want. Yeah. Oh. My camera setups are usually very, very basic. Honestly. I usually only use one camera with a null for text animations. Ah. This is usually what my cameras look like. I have them attached to nulls. I make one for the whole scene and then I cut it based off of where I want cuts. This needs to be switched. Angela needs to be pushed back a little bit. You can be pushed over a little bit. But that covers that. So we need to push. Angela, over here. Push it over. These looks very small. Should she be here? No. Fourth. Okay, so it is now. We went 333. Yeah. So how do I want this to be? Revert to SEA. We want these to be wider because we want to fit 3 wide and 3 tall. Okay. We'll do it that way. Or do I want it to be like this? I'll pull up them. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't know how much longer the stream's gonna be. I promised some people I'd watch TV with them in a bit. But I'm definitely going to be back tomorrow or even later tonight. Who knows? But I want to get this one section done before that. Rotation. TV, I know. We're watching, well, Netflix. Bad reality TV shows we watch on the weekends together. It's entertaining. Yeah, if you ever want a good time, put on bad reality TV shows with your friends. It's truly an experience. We're watching one called Love is Blind on Netflix. It's awful. We're gonna pull up here, so let's just... It's gonna come up. Do some kind of wipe under there. Yeah. Pull into this. It's weird. I have like so many scripts that I use in After Effects. Well, I have not use. I have a lot of scripts. I use like 5, maybe. And Keysmith is one that I use a lot, even though I have like Motion and Motion 2 and Motion Tools and all the other keyframing things. I don't know, Keysmith is just easy. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, a lot of people get scared of it because it does look like, all I use it for is I have presets. I have like 4 presets that I use that I just put on all of it. So like 8833 is like a fast in and a slow out. And then I also have like 100 and 0.1, which is like my super fast in and super slow out. And then I have the reverse, so like 0, 100, and 33, 88. And you can make other ones, but like I just put those on everything as a starting point. Like that, I use that as my starting point versus just F9ing it. Yeah, it depends. Like for basic eases, like because most of the time F9, I'm not going to use either way. When I F9 something, I'm going to pull it one way or the other. I'm gonna pull it so it's, you know, starts fast or ends fast. So this just lets me pick that off the bat. Why is it going up? I don't want to go up. Just back. It's pulling up and I don't really want it to do that. Whatever, let's get the base. This would go that way. So I can also cheat it by animating the position on everything. Because we want to push. You know what? That's what we'll do. Pushing this. So yeah, to get a continuous. Oh, I did it again. What we're going to do in the end is turn on field. Set the focal distance to here. Turn up the aperture. And as we pull back, we're going to reduce the aperture amount. And set this as the same ease as this, even though that's not going to be quite right at the moment. And that's why you use cameras. Let's be real. The parallax and the depth of field. Even though the depth of field slows up video down a shit ton. Like, it's good, but it's so bad. Same with depth of field and motion blur are my two things in After Effects, which are great, but they also suck. And I hate them both. For right now, though, I'm going to just leave this at 0. Right? Because I want to... What I'm going to do is just keep this moving and then add a point in the middle. So we're going to go out and over more. We're going to keep moving on this line, but we're going to set a point here where it slows down. What I was running into before was when I was trying to add another point to this to pull back more to transition into this next section, it wasn't smooth because it was slightly off of the direction it was going at the start. So now I should be able to use this as the point. Use this, do that. And then connect these, pull this down, push this over. And this would pull out to here. That needs to slow down more, so push this down here. When I sent like 2 GIF previews of this. And every time I send stuff like this, people are like, oh, it's so smooth. And I'm like, it's not, it's not actually smooth. There's actually a lot of cuts. It's just cut on the action. Which makes people think it's smooth. That's what I wanted. And we're gonna do the same thing. Push this out more than it needs to be. Now we're gonna find the point where we want it to be. I think it's there. This. And now we use ease copy, where we can copy the ease that we had on this, paste it here. Let's see what I can do with this camera too, because I don't usually mess with a lot of camera settings, but I'll zoom. So I want these two kind of file in a little bit more dramatically. And the way you would do that is you'd add more distance, but there should be a way for me to change the... This is the problem with like 2.5D, is you run into some things where you know you could do it in 3D. Like in 3D, you get a lot more camera options. This is gonna come up. Cool. I actually think I'm gonna link this to that camera instead of a null. Yeah. So pull this camera out. This is gonna go farther than that. We want this. Okay, push. Turn that off. Bring this in the center. And then we're gonna pull this way forward. Well, actually it is. Yeah, it already is pretty forward. So push it back slightly, pull this up. We should be able to put this down here. And when it slides. Lift this up. Can stay on then, right? It will pull, yeah. And we'll wipe under this. We'll add a solid just as a placeholder for right now. Make this white. And this is a 3D layer. Put this under here. Up slightly more. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna have all of these on. So actually, I could make these. Okay, let's do this. Let's make these are kind of placeholders though at the moment. But if we make all of these 3D layers, this will be set there. This should move. Turn this off. Push this back. Scale this up. These are all gonna slide on separately. But and I think that sliding that I'm gonna do with these, or I can have them kind of fall back like that. This is gonna be a repeat of that first section. Do I want to do that? Actually, yeah, okay. Fuck that. I don't want to do that. We're just gonna do Pokemon shots here. Like, just the kind of softness that we had going on with that one section, the pre-chorus. Could be cute. And then boom. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, yeah. So you had to witness that. Then okay, and this will be lines instead of boxes. Because we're going to do it with the dark versions, like the black tinted versions of that. So we kind of establish, like I said last time, we need to establish the color combos that we're gonna have throughout the video. So it doesn't just look like they're random. Oh, yeah, I do. I usually use pre-comps. Like, if I'm replacing it with footage, I'll footage or another comp, because a lot of times I'll build comps and I'll use them like footage to cut between or do whatever, transition between. And so to build like a placeholder, I'll take a solid and I'll turn that into a pre-comp and then use that pre-comp as like a placeholder for the whole thing, and then go into that pre-comp later and either swap it out with the correct comp or the correct footage. Or if I'm just using it as like timing placements, I won't even pre-comp it. Like right now, these are such rough placements that I'm not going to use them. It's more of an idea placement for me versus a an actual element at the moment. But he's looking that direction. He's looking to the left. Ideally, I would have liked it to the right so I can rotate that down and transition that direction, but we could flip. Because what I'm thinking about doing is here. Doing something like close up like this. And having, I'll bring the top Leo up. So transition to something kind of like this. But we have our motion falling down to the right corner. And if we're repeating the action of this, we're pulling from the right. And we don't want to go to the right and then pull back from the right. We want to keep that motion headed to the right. So I think I'm going to swap it so it does that side first. So I can slide this down and transition this into the second half of this, which I want. Color these. What I'll do is duplicate this. So put this under here. I might end up pre-comping this because I want to use 2 camera movements there and just kind of blend them into each other. We'll try it with this. These I'm going to turn off for the moment. We're gonna fall this back. It's gonna go like that. Let's turn this. No, I don't need to do multiple cameras because I can just do it with the 2D layer. This above this, that. Transition to something like that. Pull this down more. See, so this is what I'm talking about. We're gonna pull this down to that right corner since the art is facing to the left. We kind of want to use that moment like kind of like they're falling backwards. But we're then pulling out of this corner. We want to be pulling out of this corner. So let's just try swapping this. And I know this isn't the right art or the right people, but that's what placeholders are for. Like it actually still might get a little weird because we're doing that, we're doing this. What if I flipped it? Yep. I think that'll work. But here we would need to flip it as well, and I don't think that's gonna work. Let me ask. Okay, guys. I think I'm going to end stream for a second. Well, I don't know. I might be back later. Who knows? Or I'll definitely be back tomorrow working more on this. I need to take a break, watch some stuff with people, have fun, and then come back to this. But I think I have a good block out of this chorus section now. And a good idea of what I'm doing. And after that, it's pretty straightforward. It's just going to be a lot more designing stuff out and actually animating it. Because yeah, like I said, a lot of this is duplicate. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Sorry it like freaked out at the beginning of the stream if you're here. Hopefully I get it working. I don't know why it does what it does. But yes, thank you. Yeah, the VODs will be up on YouTube and I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, if you are new or just creeping, I have a Discord server where I'll post pings of when I go live for animation stuff. It should be below my Twitch stream or on my YouTube channel. It's like a motions graphics thing. Hi, Fox. You be lurking? That's good. Lurking is good. That's all I do in streams, honestly. I am very bad at being social on streams with streamers, so I understand the lurk. But yeah, on there, if you go to the Discord server, you can get a role, and the role will let you know. It's called, like, I think char stream pings, and I'll ping that whenever I do animation streams. And I'm glad you're learning something. I hope it's somewhat helpful when I stream. You get somewhat of my mind process on things. But yeah, thank you. I'll see you next time. Yeah, either later or tomorrow or whenever.